In this video, we are going to look at statics of non-planar forces. This topic is also popularly called forces in space, and by space we mean three-dimensional space. This video is devoted to finding resultant of concurrent forces which are in space, that is in three dimensions, that is which are not necessarily in one plane. This is a basic video. Now, in order to understand properly the procedure, what capability one should develop is, given a force, how to express it as vector. So let's say this red color arrow represents a force whose magnitude is F and which starts from 0, 0, 0 and ends in 4, 4, 3. Now, you see this force x component will be Fx, and that will be equal to F cos alpha if this force is inclined at alpha degree to x-axis. Similarly, y component of this force will be F cos beta if corresponding angle with y-axis is beta, and similarly z component is F cos gamma. If we know alpha, beta, gamma, then force can be expressed as vectors as simply F cos alpha I plus F cos beta j plus F cos gamma k, or in other words, as shown here, magnitude F into unit vector or its direction cosine. Now cos alpha can be written as x upon under root of x square plus y square plus z square. Cos beta will be written is equal to y is equal to under root of this number, and cos gamma is z upon under root of this number, x square plus y square plus z square. Now you see, so in other words, if we know the starting and ending point of the force, we can find out its inclination with x, y and z axis. Now this is the basic information you need to solve any problem. Let's put some numbers. This is the magnitude of force is 10. Then this force can be expressed as 10 cos alpha I plus 10 cos beta j plus 10 cos gamma k, where I, j, k are unit vectors along x, y, z axis, or in terms of these coordinates, it will be 10 into this vector 4i plus 4j plus 4k divided by the magnitude of this vector, that is 4 minus 0 square plus 4 minus 0 square plus 3 minus 0 square. So if angles are known, this is the way to express. If coordinates are known, this is the way to express the vector. Let's solve one problem so that this procedure will be very clear. Let's say you have these four forces, F1, F2, F3 and F4, and we want to find their resultant. Their locations are given. See, all originate from origin, so they are concurrent. They pass through origin, they pass through one point, and one of the points on their line of action for each force is given here. So if magnitudes of F1, F2, F3, F4 are 10, 12, 14, 16, then from what is explained in the previous slide, the vector F1 will be given by the magnitude 10 multiplied by this 4i plus 4j plus 2k divided by 6, which is nothing but under root of 4 square plus 4 square plus 2 square. See, 4 square is 16 plus 16 plus 16 plus 16 is 32 plus 4, that is 36, under root 36 is 6. So this is a complete expression of F1 in the vector form. Similarly, F2. See, 0 minus 0 is 0. So it is 1j plus 4k divided by under root of 1 square plus 4 square. And similarly, F3. See, these 2, 0, 2 are endpoints of this force, I mean coordinates of endpoint of this force. So it is 14 into 2i plus 2k under root divided by 2.828, and similarly f4 is 4i plus 2j divided by under root of 4 square plus 2 square, and this quantity is multiplied by magnitude 60. So here what you have is f1, f2, f3, f4 all expressed as vectors, that is in terms of ijk. Now once we do this, resultant finding is very easy. All you do is say that the resultant vector is summation of f1, f2, f3, f4. Now this we have done calculations and rewritten f1, f2, f3, f4 here, and the resultant is simply vector addition of all this, and that will be if you just take up I components, j component, k components, add up, you get this vector. So this R, which is 30.88i plus 16.736j plus 24.87k, is a resultant of all these three forces together, and since forces pass through origin, this resultant also passes through origin. And if you wanted to, you can find magnitude of it by you know how to find magnitude of vector, very easy. 30.88 square plus 60.736 square plus 24.87 square, take under root and you get this magnitude, and direction of this vector is with x-axis is cos alpha, which will be 30.88 upon 43.04 cos inverse alpha you get. Similarly, you can find beta, and similarly you can find gamma. So you know resultant completely, magnitude and inclination with each of these XYZ axis. So what we learned in this video is, given any number of forces, really, see here 4, there could be many, as long as they are concurrent, this step-by-step procedure you follow, you can work out resultant in magnitude and direction. Thank you.